Joining me now, Shan Wu, former federal prosecutor and CNN legal analyst. Shan, always good to have you on to walk us through this. So the White House claiming executive privilege here. She has, though, discussed these matters with the special counsel. How can executive privilege apply to her testimony before the Judiciary Committee and not there?
It may not, Jim. There's a strong argument that anyone who has already spoken or been interviewed may have waived the privilege. Now, courts are usually a little bit careful about just recognizing a blanket waiver, just as they're careful to recognize a blanket assertion. And the Trump administration is treating executive privilege like the new black. They are just asserting it at every possible opportunity.
And basically challenging this to be challenged in court, right? I mean, which Democrats will likely do if they don't get satisfaction here. How long does that process play out?
It could play out for a long time. The courts may expedite it a little bit. There are instances where it can drag out for quite some time, like in the Holder case. Some of it wasn't resolved for years. Other times it can move a little bit more quickly because it's primarily a 100% legal issue. It's not really a factual one, so you don't have to spend a lot of time developing the record on it.
Mm-hmm. You have said that good questioning by this panel will result in a very damning hearing, even with an assertion of executive privilege. Tell us why.
Exactly. It's because it's the same reason why in criminal cases the courts won't allow the prosecutor to call a defendant just to put them on the stand, ask them a question like, did you commit the murder? And then they say, I invoke the Fifth Amendment. The same kinds of questions repeated over and over again. Did President Trump try to fire Robert Mueller to stop the investigation? I refuse to answer on grounds of executive privilege. Over a small amount of time, that leads to a body of very incriminating sounding questions and lack of answers.
Yep. And the president, of course, has criticized people in the past for, in effect, taking the fifth, saying that would be a sign of guilt. Democrats have a plan for the possibility of on-the-spot negotiation on each of these answers. In other words, if she claims executive privilege, say, okay, well, how about if we ask under these terms, et cetera? I mean, can that be adjudicated in the moment?
It cannot be adjudicated in the moment, much like a deposition. They'll have to reach some agreement. They will agree to disagree, like we'll pass on that question, wait to go to the court on it. I would note that question by question is the court's sanctioned method to proceed. In previous cases, the courts have said you need to go question by question, document by document on these assertions, as opposed to what the White House counsel is trying to do, which is just to blanketly assert it before they ever get there.
And it's a big issue, right? I mean, can the executive assert executive privilege of a whole host of things when Congress is constitutionally empowered to hold the executive branch in check? Shan Wu, great to have you on and explain things to us.
Good to see you, Jim.